So today I thought I'd take a little bit of time and talk about how to prepare for cold weather camping. I'm all prepared. I have my special snowman polar bear penguin pencil, and I've got my hot chocolate here, and let's get started. So specifically today, I want to talk about cold weather camping clothing systems. Now, a lot of people, when they're thinking about camping in cold weather, they're thinking about layering. And in order to really demonstrate this best, we want to use our model here. He will be in his underwear, so we want to make him look a little bit athletic, like an underwear model would. Anyway, people think about layering, and we're going to talk about a specific method of layering. There's a three-part system that we use in order to best prepare ourselves for cold weather situations. You really never know what you're going to run into, so you need to be able to remove or add layers as needed. So the first layer that we're going to talk about is the base layer. The base layer is the closest to your body. It touches the skin. And this needs to be able to pull moisture away from the body or wick moisture away. So the goal of this is to make sure that when you're sweating or getting warm, that it will pull the moisture away from your body as opposed to holding moisture against your body. So in this situation, there are specific types of fabrics that work best for this. You want to go with things like synthetic fabrics, polyester, rayon, that kind of thing. In many situations, you want to make sure that it's breathable. It's very important that there's good airflow to your skin. Cotton is very breathable, but it's not actually a very good choice because it does hold moisture, which means you'll get cold once you stop moving around. So generally, I recommend that people don't use cotton clothing. Although interestingly, most of the world's armies are dressed in cotton. So let's put this guy's base layer on here. Uh, Often this is called like long johns or long underwear. Under Armour is a very popular brand. This does include your socks, although in most cases I don't include gloves or hats as part of the base layer. Those come in following layers. So the next layer is the thermal or the insulative layer. This layer is your most insulative. It's going to keep heat in. For this reason, you want to make sure that it's kind of a fluffy material. When it's fluffy, this insulates the body and keeps the heat trapped in and keeps the cold out. If you have a fabric that is more compressed, the heat is able to more easily flow through it or out of it, and then the cold is more easily able to flow in and make you cold. So we want to make sure that this is a fluffy material. Uh, Fabrics like wool or fleece are really good. As long as you don't allow them to get compressed, things like a down or a hollow fill are also really good choices. So we're going to throw a nice down jacket on our model here. And for his pants, often you don't need an extra thermal layer of pants while you're out moving around, but when you stop moving, you're definitely going to want something to keep you warm. Of course, an extra layer of socks, usually I choose wool, and gloves in this situation is a good idea. So the outer shell is going to protect you from the things that are not heat or cold, more the weather type stuff like rain and snow and that kind of thing. So you want to make sure that it's waterproof and has some type of windbreaker properties. PVC is one of the most waterproof materials. However, it's not always the best choice. When I lived in Washington and commuted on my bike every day, during the winters when it was raining a lot, I'd ride my bike to work and I'd show up at work and be just as wet uh, underneath the rain clothes as I was outside because the PVC traps the moisture in and holds it against your body. So you only want to choose that in situations where it is extremely wet. In most other situations where there's light rain and that kind of thing, or a light snow, then Sil-Nylon type fabrics are really good. That's a silicone impregnated nylon. The reason it's really good is because it's usually very breathable. Of course, there are several other types of fabrics that are really good. So let's throw the outer suit on this guy. Of course, it does include your boots, and in really cold weather, I recommend that people are wearing an extra pair of gloves and a hat, of course. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informational. I'd love to hear your comments and see what you think about it, what you do when you're out in the cold weather. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to answer them in future videos. And of course, please take some time to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. See you in the woods.